Hey guys, welcome here. In this lecture we talk about types. In this lecture we'll continue with functions. So let's start. As always, let's go back to DartPad environment. And before I will start talking about the types, I would like to show you one special word, and this special word is called a final. When you will mark your variable as a final, you cannot change this variable anymore. So when I will access this username, and I will try to change it for something else, like John, you will see I will get an error here. Username, a final variable, can only be set once. Okay, so final variables can be set only once, and you can say by final variable that your variable that's holding some value is a final, and you don't want to change it any longer in your code. Okay, this variable should be just initialized once and then not changed anymore. Okay, so this is a final. There is one similar one, and it's called const, and these are almost same. There is one difference I will be talking a little bit later about. So you can see here username. I can access username, but I cannot change it any longer. I will get an error here. Let's wait. Constant variable can be assigned a value. Okay, so I will be talking about the const later, but yeah, we should talk about functions, right? So you can see here already a couple of functions. We have here a function main. We have here a couple of prints. And what about to declare here our custom function? First, I will change this for a final back, all right? And you can see here I'm printing here username, user age, and so on twice. So this means we are duplicating our code. Our code is not very usable because when I want to display my user informations in other parts of my code, I need to copy these 4 prints and print them again and again, and this is not very good, right? So what we can do, we can create a function. Okay, so how we can create a function? Okay. Under a main function, I can create a new function. So I will make here some more space for you, let's say here. Okay, so these are ending of our main function here, this bracket, and under this, we can create a function and function name. Function name should reflect functionality of our function, what our function is actually doing. So we want to display here our user informations. So our function should be called display user info, let's say. So display user info is our functions. Okay, this is our name of the function. Now you need to create here a set of brackets, normal brackets like this, and curly brackets for our body of our function. Okay, so we can write here some code here instead of our function. Okay, so this is a very simple function, display user info. Also, I would like to mention here one thing. Function can also return a value, but we want to here just print these values here. We don't want to return anything from here for now. So what I can do, I can mark here this function as a void. When you will mark your function a void, this means that our function is not returning anything. Okay, so you can do it also without. You can see when I will remove these something type called dynamic, but I will be talking about dynamics later. Don't worry about this right now. So display user info. Okay, so let's mark it as a void, so it's not returning anything. I can do the same for our main function. Our main function is not doing anything, so I can say it's a void function. It's not returning any values. Okay, so display user info. It should print our username, user age, user height, and user employee status. For now, let's just print here some hard-coded text, and let's say display user info has been called. Okay, I will remove this one set of prints. All right, and I will display here our user info function. So under this, I need to call my function. So this is a function declaration. I'm just declaring my function. I'm not doing anything with this function yet. So when I want to do something with my function, I want to call my function in my code. I need to access my function name, which is a display user info. So this, I will copy it, display user info. And you will call this function by providing brackets here. Brackets, semicolon, like this. When I will run this, you will see I will get here display user info has been called. Okay, so what about to display here our user informations now? Let's copy all of these prints here. Actually, let's cut it from here, Control X or Command X button to cut it out. And let's print it here. Okay, let's run our code. And you can see here a couple of info text here and also errors. Info here, these warnings here is saying the value of the local variable username isn't used. So you can see username, user age, user height, user employee status variables are not used. How it's possible? We are using these variables here. All right, explanation is very simple. These variables are declared in a main scope of a function main, and these variables I'm trying to access cannot find these variables in a main scope because display user info function has only access to this scope here of this body of this function here. Okay, so only access to this space here. Okay, I cannot access these variables from a main. And this is a problem for now. We can fix it, but we will fix it in next lecture. So guys, get a nice break. Let's try to create some functions and display some informations, and let's see you in the next lecture.